Hey mom, so you see my don't give a shit level is just rising. It's a fun day today, rearranging, cleaning, all that good stuff. But anyway, so I have a wonderful, wonderful friend, babysitter, helper. You know, if I like women, I would definitely marry her. But one of my wonderful helpers with my daughter P, named Morgan, took my daughter to her house today, and I slept and it was wonderful, but that's not the point of the video. The video point is I had asked her mother, who does know a lot, about my daughter has started over the past 3 days tugging at her ears. So much so that I spent the 4th of July in urgent care because I figured she just had some allergy issues and she probably got an ear infection. So I'm looking in her ear, flashlight all down up in there, all that good stuff. I don't see anything inflamed or looking crazy. Took her anyway because she kept tugging. She seemed very aggravated when pulling at it, tugging, all that good stuff. So, just to be safe, I took her to urgent care on the 4th of July, and they're like, we don't see anything. Oh, okay. And they told me they don't even see the clear liquid that turns into the liquid that turns into the ear infection or something like that. Great. So they tell me to keep watching it, check on her fever. Now, I know that she's teething as well, and I'm looking up different stuff, and they say that if she doesn't have a fever, that doesn't mean she doesn't have an ear infection. It just means she doesn't have a fever. But of course, fever comes with teething. So in my mind, I'm putting it all together, but I'm not putting it all together. So I know that on the side of her face, is just her left side, in her jawline is where her tooth is coming in. So Morgan's beautiful mother came and told me that it could be her teething through, and that's why it's irritating that side of her face. And I was like, oh, shit, duh, put it all together. So where her tooth is coming in is affecting that side of her face, her jaw, her ear, all that little area. And this is why she's aggravated, but she doesn't have a fever and she doesn't have an ear infection, because it's not necessarily her ear. Her ear is a symptom from the cause, which is her tooth coming into her jaw. So I was really worried because I didn't want to aggravate it anymore, or I was like, when I put her in the bathtub, she's kind of submerged with her ears. I didn't want that to be an issue. But that's what it was. So what I did, and I'll tell you this, and I'll try to do a video, but I took what are like her burp towels, and I cut it in eight little pieces, and I rolled them up really tight, like the size of my finger. Boiled some chamomile tea, dipped them in the chamomile tea, like a cup of it. Wring them out a little bit. I still had some tea on there, of course. Stuck them in one of her little 2-ounce bottles, or you can put it in a cup if you want to just like dip it in the cup and then put it in another mug. And I put it in the freezer. And by the end of the night, maybe about 11 o'clock, she gets a little cranky from sleep anyway, but I can see her tugging at her ear again. So I go pull one out, and she's sucking on it like crazy, loving it, and it seems to do a really good job. And it's soft enough where I can kind of shove it back on that side of her jaw where her tooth is coming in. But she just kind of sat there and sucked on, and I could see her also getting relaxed, which is great. Chamomile is good for relaxing. And I drank the rest of the tea, and we had a great evening. So really quick, this is what it looks like. I left the ends of the towels out so I can hold them, or she can hold them. And then, let's see. So if I take them out, well, they were easier to break apart earlier. There you go. And then they're nice and frozen, and she could just gnaw on them. She was sucking the tea out here. So again, I leave the ends out, and I leave them long enough so I can hold them, because you don't want them to be so small that, and this is probably like the size of my hand, a little bit longer. You don't want them to be so small that she's sucking on them and then it gets enlarged in her throat. And if you have any little strings like this, cut them off. And this worked really good. She seemed to enjoy it. And when she was done with the tubes, remember I said I made 8. This is 2, and then I have another little container like this. I took it to the sink and squeezed it out, rinsed it out, and then let it hang dry. And then, of course, if I need to remake them, I get some more tea probably like tomorrow night, which to me, I'm trying to get into drinking more tea anyway. and make some more. So every night, if you want to relax, a stressful day, moms, then you can have some tea and get your little teether popsicles ready. So that was that. So there's a little trick for you moms, and when the baby starts teething, I do check her temperature still, just because it's good to keep an eye on that while they're teething and all that fun stuff. And I bought Tylenol when she was like 1 month old because I knew what I would be getting into. So at 3 months, although I knew around 2.5, we got a teether. So there is your update. Hopefully the chamomile trick works. If you all have any other tricks, by all means, leave them below. Morgan's mom said licorice. You can buy like organic. I don't know if they make organic licorice, but like licorice, chew on a little bit, give it to her to chew on. And of course, all of this is going to make a big mess, so make sure you get a nice towel or a bib or something to put around them while they're doing it. And she couldn't do it herself, so I had to hold it a little bit. But, anything to keep the peace in the house. So hopefully this helps. Have fun with your teethers, or gel works too, but what you gonna do? It's gonna be a while. It's only one tooth out of however many, 32 or something like that. Bye, moms.